this lesson, we'll be learning about al-masdar. Al-masdar in English means the verbal noun. Learning objectives. By the conclusion of this video, the student will be able to, number 1, understand what a masdar is and how it is used in a sentence, and 2, be able to identify some verbal nouns. The Arabic term for the verbal noun is masdar. The plural of masdar is masadir. So what is a masdar? The masdar is a noun which is closely related to a verb. Since the masdar is a noun, number 1, it is voweled as a noun. Number 2, it takes tanween when it is indefinite. And 3, it takes the definite article alif lam when it is definite. The masdar will almost always be definite, either with an alif lam or as the first term of an idafa. Remember that the first term of an idafa never takes alif lam. The masdar has 2 primary purposes. First, it's used after a main verb to give the meaning of the infinitive, to do something. Or 2, it's used as an abstract noun. In this case, it could be translated as the gerund or the ing form of the word, like traveling or driving. Now let's look at a couple of examples of how it's used in each of these cases. First, when it's used as an infinitive. Look at the sentence. أريد العمل في الأمم المتحدة. The sentence أريد العمل في الأمم المتحدة means I want to work at the United Nations. In this example, the verb أريد, I want, is the primary verb of the sentence. العمل is the verbal noun, and it functions as an infinitive. I want to work. In the second example, where we're using it as an abstract noun, we have the sentence السافر بالقطار مريح. السافر بالقطار مريح means traveling by train is restful. In this example, السافر is a masdar, or a verbal noun, and it is used as a gerund. Can you identify the masdar in this sentence? صديقي مشغول بكتابة الواجب. Listen again as I read the sentence to you. صديقي مشغول بكتابة الواجب. Yes, the masdar is kitaba. Kitaba means writing. Earlier, I mentioned that masdars are almost always definite. Can you tell me if this masdar is definite or indefinite? It's definite because it's part of an idafa. You know it's part of an idafa because you have 2 nouns separated by an alif lam. Let's look at another example. نحب دراسة اللغة العربية. نحب دراسة اللغة العربية. Can you identify the masdar in this sentence? It means we love studying the Arabic language. Yes, the masdar is dirasa. دراسة اللغة العربية is definite because it's part of an idafa. And here, the masdar is the second verbal action in the sentence. The first one is nuhibbu. Nuhibbu means we like or we love. Let's look at one more example. مشاهدة الأفلام العربية مثيرة. مشاهدة الأفلام العربية مثيرة. Watching Arabic films is exciting. Can you identify the masdar in this sentence? Yes, the masdar is mushahida. Mushahida means watching. It's the gerund or ing form. Each verb has its own masdar. For a basic Form 1 verb, there is no single pattern to create a verbal noun. There are some patterns that you can use, but at this point, it's necessary to memorize the verbal noun for each new verb that you learn. This would be the easiest way. Later on, as we look at each of the different verb forms, you'll find that there is, in fact, a special masdar related to the other forms from Form 2 to 10. But the easiest thing to do for a Form 1 verb is just to learn the verbal noun and the verb at the same time. Let's examine the relationship between the present tense verb, al-fa'al al-mudara, and the masdar, or the verbal noun. The Arabic verb contains 3 items of information. 1, the action, 2, the actor, and 3, the time, whether it's past, present, or future. For example, the verb kharaja. Kharaja means he left. The action is leaving. The actor is he. And the time is past tense. The verbal noun, al-kharuj, which is formed from kharaja, means leaving. The verbal noun contains the action, but it has no actor or time information. Now let's look at some examples of Form 1 verbs and their masdar. In the first one we have yadhabu ila, he goes to. The masdar or verbal noun is al-dhahab ila, going to. Yadrusu, he studies. The verbal noun or masdar ad-dirasa, studying. Yaktubu, he writes. Al-kitaba, the verbal noun, writing. Yakra'u, he reads. The verbal noun, al-kira'a, reading. Yashrabu, he drinks. The verbal noun, asharab, drinking. Ya'malu, he works. The verbal noun, or the masdar, al-amal, working. Yaskunu, he lives. The verbal noun, or masdar, as-sakin. Yusafiru ila, he travels to. The verbal noun, as-safar ila, traveling to. And this brings us to the end of our video. Remember that anytime you learn a new verb, make sure that you learn the masdar that goes with it. Ma salama.